Ex-boyfriend, 27M, says anime sex doll should not be competition for me, 24F. My boyfriend is a redditor. He doesn't use r/relationship_advice I'm pretty sure, but I'm really hoping he somehow sees this post. I'm half here for validation because I feel like I'm going insane and can't tell anybody I know for obvious reasons. But if I am being unreasonable, please tell me. My boyfriend has a sex doll. It's not like Lars and the real girl, it looks like an anime girl and couldn't pass for a real person. This is why he refuses to get rid of it. He says I shouldn't be jealous because she's fulfilling an impossible void. No real woman could have boobs and an ass like hers, hair like hers, be willing for any act all the time, etc. He doesn't see her as a real person and he says it's the same as me owning a dildo or something. I don't own a dildo. I'm 24 and I thought both of us were too mature and financially unstable to waste money on sex things we could just do with each other, but the anime doll apparently disagrees. He keeps her in our bedroom closet, but I literally have my clothes in there. I don't want to break up, but the longer I live with him the closer I am to snapping and setting it on fire. How can I phrase the fact that I want him to get rid of it in a way that doesn't make me seem jealous or prudish or unreasonable? And am I being any of those three things? Edit. To answer some questions, yes, he did tell me he prefers sex with the doll, but he says it's only natural and he doesn't expect an actual woman to compare. Yes, I'd be fine with a pocket pussy. I also didn't mean to shame any dildo owners, by the way. I just personally feel like it would be a waste of money for me. I said mature because we're not exactly rich and this thing costed a lot of money and the clothes, accessories, etc. have just been adding up. He has rejected me for the doll before, but not often enough that I would put it in the post. It is a general rule that I can't try to come in while he's with it, though. I'm sure if you told him you are leaving him due to the sex doll he wouldn't mind one bit. This is the most Redditor thing I've ever heard, holy shit. Also yeah, of course the story is fake, who the fuck wouldn't realize that? This is the guy you're really gonna settle for at 24? You're really willing to spend the next 50 plus years with a guy who puts the needs of a sex doll above your own? Read your own post-op. Oh my god, run. Tell him if it's better with her, then she can be his girlfriend from now on, since you prefer boys that are into partners that breathe. Edit. Whoa, my first award. This is where I say thanks, kind stranger, right? Ex-boyfriend won't stop telling every guy I cheated even though it was 10 years ago. When I was 19, I had an unexpected pregnancy. My ex didn't want to keep the baby, but I did and we stayed together anyway. She was born with a birth defect and died at 2 days old. Because I knew my ex never wanted her, I definitely blamed him, which was wrong. I was upset he didn't care like I did. I ended up cheating with a guy at a support group whose young child also died. I take full responsibility. We broke up, and I took a big break from relationships and pursued personal therapy. My ex is married now, yet every relationship I've been in since, 3, including my fiance, he's messaged the guy warning him that I'm a cheater, and the second time even messaged the guy's parents. Both the relationships ended shortly after, and now he's contacted my fiance, who I actually told ahead of time and understands. I found out the reason why he's been able to find out about all my relationships is because he follows a ton of my family members on Facebook. I don't have it. Do I tell everyone to block him? I tried to talk to him about it and he says if I don't tell them I'm lying by omission, but it was 10 years ago. He says that it says something about my character that can't be fixed with time. I went to therapy. It was horrible circumstances, and I honestly don't think I'm a bad person. I don't know if it would be wrong to take this to his wife. I'm afraid he's going to tell my fiance's parents or my future kids. I just want him to stop. What would you do? Edit. Speaking with his wife now. She's very concerned about his behavior and is actually a very kind woman. Edit. I was asked to put this into the post. I was 19 at the time, my ex was 30, and we're 29 and 40 now. Edit. He and his wife got into a big fight. She's creeped out by the obsession and worried he hasn't gotten over me. The age gap at the time bothered her, especially because there's an age gap between the two of them, and she thought he was making an exception for her. He sent my boyfriend a very ominous "you will regret this" message, and we're thinking of involving the police. I commented earlier but I wanted to add something, which is that it sounds like you've had it pretty rough. That's a lot to go through at 19, a pregnancy then loss of a baby, and to have an insensitive and unsupportive partner to boot. It's cruel given these tragedies that he's trying to hold over your head, the fact that when you were very young and going through a tragedy you cheated on him 10 years ago. You were 19, and for him to be chasing you around all these years trying to ruin your relationships and never allowing you to forget this mistake. I don't know you but I know you deserve better. You've been through a lot. Cheating is not unusual, which isn't to say I condone it, and not a shame somebody should have to carry around forever. It's a very human mistake. Take care of yourself and I hope this relationship works out. He is literally abusing and trying to maintain power over you. TBH, you should talk to a lawyer about this harassment. Enough is enough. He should not have this much power over you. Take your power back. If you are afraid he will talk, then you talk. And you talk about it all, including his behavior on not supporting you during the loss of yours child. And yes, what he did to you when you were together was grooming. From your comments, your cheating probably saved you. And TBH, in this situation I wouldn't even consider it cheating. You were in a very toxic and harmful situation that you were groomed to be in, and it takes quite a bit to leave those abusive situations. Keep going to therapy. You still need some people in your corner. Talk to them about what he is doing. They can also help you legally on the mental damage this is doing to you, and how it is affecting your life. Bully up. You can do this. Take your power back. He was 30. You were 19. Someone was emotionally stunted here and it was not you. Read ops last edit. For all of you defending her ex, tell me how he's still a victim when he's dangerous and resorting to threats. Evaluate yourselves, Jesus Christ, before you identify with this man. The fact that she's still younger than how old he was when he started a relationship with her, and it's been 10 years. Like if my partner's ex was like, hey yes, my profile says I'm 40 and about 10 years ago I was dating your ex. Yes, she was 19 and I was 30, but clearly she was the maladjusted person. What do you mean it's creepy that I knocked up a 19-year-old at 30 and I still won't let go of it? He says that it says something about my character that can't be fixed with time. Edit, speaking with his wife now. She's very concerned about his behavior and is actually a very kind woman. Edit, I was asked to put this into the post. I was 19 at the time, my ex was 30, and we're 29 and 40 now. Ho ho ho. That's super interesting that while he was all about the truth to your partners and or their parents, that his wife wasn't aware of him keeping tabs on you and trying to ruin your life. Also interesting, he was 11 years old and preying on a barely legal teens. Bet his wife will have interesting things to say about his character. It may not stop his behavior, especially if they end up divorcing and he's even more motivated to harass you, but you should get your family to block him. He is a creep. My 21F sister, 19F, told me I was a bad sister for not convincing her to have an abortion. My sister has 3 years / show a son. She had him when she was only 16. I was the first person besides her boyfriend that she told that she was pregnant. At the time I did advise her to have an abortion. She didn't want to because her boyfriend gave her false hope that he'll be involved in its life. When our parents found out, they didn't even try to convince her not to because they pro-life. Now the baby's dad isn't even involved, he just pays child support. Yesterday we got into an argument. She wanted me to babysit her son while she went out with friends. I told her I couldn't because I had to study. Then she kept begging and I kept saying no, and she chose to be a mom. Then she got all upset and said this is all my fault and I was a bad sister because as her big sister I should have convinced her to have an abortion. Then she stormed off. Is this really all my fault? Should I have tried harder to convince her to have an abortion? If the whole family had dragged her kicking and screaming into the abortion clinic, she would resent you guys for that, too. What? No, none of this is your fault. She had sex, she got pregnant and she decided to have the baby all by herself. It would have been a very RSH move to insist on anyone else having an abortion. Ultimately she made her bed, now she has to lie in it. It's not your fault that she changed her mind. No, this is called displacement. She's not mad at you, she is mad at herself. But it is easier to blame you than face the fact that her decisions have brought her to this place. It's like when a person gets absolutely flipped out, insane angry at the affair partner, but not at the so who actually did the cheating. She's trying to deflect blame. She chose to have the kid, you didn't force her to do it. She's just having a tantrum. Don't listen to her and focus on yourself right now. She regrets her decision and doesn't want to take responsibility for it. None of this is your fault.